Today's adventure takes us to Pittsburgh, PA, and the Heinz History Center, a Smithsonian institution, home to the history of Heinz Ketchup, the Heinz Hall of Fame, an original set from the Mr. Rogers Show, and apparently this is the #1 history museum in America, according to them. So, yeah, we're here for some ketchup, we're here for some lore. Next stop, living history. And as always, you are watching Geek Merch. Okay, so some more context here. It's actually voted the #1 history museum in America according to the USA Reader's Choice Awards, both this year and last year. So that ain't nothing. I thought they were just making this accolade up themselves, but the USA Today readers insisted upon it. And here's a covered wagon as well. So there you go. And I'll say that you can tell a lot about a city based on how it merchandises its iconography and its mascots. So, for example, these pirate pierogi giveaways given at the Great Pittsburgh Pierogi Race Nat in 1999 are cool. You're looking at Cheese Chester and Sauerkraut Saul right there. So, precious pierogi friends. Yeah. Let's see what other merch we can find. And I was wondering who she was in the introductory video. This is the Vamp from the exterior of the dark ride Le Cachot at Kennywood from 1972 to 1998. Le Cachot is French for the dungeon, and this was inspired by the psychedelia of the 60s and past dark rides. Bill Cassidy of the Pretzel Amusement Ride Industry and Bill Tracy of Amusement Display Associates collaborated to create Le Cachot, an attraction where the ghosts of medieval castles lurked. The tradition of dark rides actually goes back to the early 1900s when passengers rode small boats through pitch-black tunnels, thrilling young men and women at a time when physical contact between them wasn't usually allowed. Today's rides are more elaborate, but are still based on the idea that being scared in a safe environment helps people break away from everyday life and bond with family and friends. I love that. It looks like Palace Entertainment gifted this to the Smithsonian, and that was before they were acquired by Hershend, which owns Dollywood too. So there you go. More Kennywood stuff. Very, very cool. Hannah, I've always told you that merch used to be less safe and scary, and this seems like proof. So can you read aloud to me what, in fact, we're looking at here loudly?
This is the Aristocrat tomato, which proved that as a mascot for Heinz company, that they only used the best tomatoes. Ironically, it says DC Comics introduced a more sinister monocle top-hatted character in 1941. Guess who? Batman's ultimate foe, the Penguin.
It does have a penguin-y vibe.
But penguins wouldn't make very good ketchup.
Is that what it says?
No, that's ad-lib.
That's ad-lib color commentary, folks. Yeah. Awesome. Love it. Here we go. Belly of the Beast. From Pittsburgh to the world. Now, this is a Chicago-based brand now. But it started, of course, in Pittsburgh with the Heinz family and the Teresa Heinz Carey scion, who is the plot of my unfinished screenplay, Queen Ketchup. So there you go. Oh my God, look at these little stools. Can we say? They're like little hotel bottle size, single serving ketchup stools. No words, honestly. No notes either. Pretty good. Now, one question I was really hoping to answer today is, do the 57 varieties include like everything they've ever made, like this fig pudding? You know what I mean? Or this tomato fish sauce, because it's easy to get to 57 if we, include crab apple jelly, right? But yeah, or youngberry jelly. What in the hell? Charlie the little brother. Look at this baby. What's going on here? Chinese yam and barley cereal. Cool. There you go. Alright, we're looking for other Heinz merch. Maybe we'll find some before we get to the gift shop.
I've never heard of cream of celery soup.
Cream of celery soup, yeah. See what else we can find. Alright, here's some merch for you. Apparently, Ed Sheeran made a Heinz collaborative ketchup bottle featuring his arm tattoos because he has a Heinz tattoo on his arm. And then there was also this little box and guitar pick, a speaker box, made to celebrate the Ed Sheeran and Heinz collaboration, including this guitar pick as well. So there you go. There's merch outside the gift shop here, the Mark of Any Good Museum. And just above this Heinz Baked Beans crock pot, there's a little stack of Heinz vintage stickers, still in really good condition, thanks Smithsonian, that say we serve Heinz ketchup, the sign of good eating. I love that. God, their merch game was always through the roof, can we say? And I didn't even know a pickle pouch was something that existed, but here we are. Pickle pouch, baby. Love this. And it looks like they made a bunch of stuff with that creepy tomato guy we saw earlier as well. Look at this clock. I mean, if that exists in the world, I need it. Also, look at this. A toy pickle wagon. Where were you, my childhood? Alas, it seems Charlie the Tuna has temporarily been removed for conservation. Look how good. This is a charm bracelet from 1925. And look at these pickle pins. And look at this guy. He just won't leave me alone. Somebody is going to haunt my dreams tonight, huh? Look at that Punim. Face only a mother could love. It appears there was also a Heinz branded fan from the early 1900s, a keychain from the 1900s, and a pocket knife from the 1900s as well. Pretty good. And I'm so sorry, I passed this by before, but my family said, "Hey guy, that's not a bunch of ketchup bottles arranged artfully behind a glass case. That's a bowling pin set." I mean, so good. All right, we'll keep moving. And this is truly special. I mean, this isn't a recreation at all. This is the original set. He would come in the door at the beginning of every episode and take off his shoes and put on his inside shoes, and he would take off his jacket and put on his inside jacket, right? Won't you be my neighbor? And this is the puppet theater where the king would be and the purple people eater, and there'd be that like train coming across here, coming across the rim. And sometimes Daniel Tiger would pop out as well. Oh, there he is. There he is. There's some of the characters, including my boy Daniel Tiger. Oh my God, I love him. Look at his kind eyes. And there's his sweater. This one's circa 1985, so 10 years into the Mr. Rogers Neighborhood program. Really, really remarkable. And this is really wild. Mr. Rogers themed ecclesiastical stole. Fred had a divinity degree from the Pittsburgh Theological Seminary, but he saw his television show as his ministry. So this stole is a visible representation of his dual role as both minister and television personality. Made by his aunt, Alberta Rogers, Joanne Rogers recalled that Fred used it when he occasionally preached at the 6th Presbyterian Church. Pretty neat, and there's a lot of the characters in there. We'll get closer. The king and queen, the Lady Daniel Tiger scenario, the trolley car. Of course, at the bottom, his signature shoes. So these puppets reflect Knish and Friends. Knish and his puppet friends were staples of children's television in Pittsburgh from 1952 to 1964. Hank Stoll created the mischievous Knish out of a darning egg and a rug yarn to audition for the local children's show called Mitzi's Kitty Castle. Oy vey. Knish soon appeared on the show and was so popular that he and puppet friends Connie, a dog, and Rodney, a mentor figure, were given their own show. So it entertained kids in Pittsburgh for years on KDKA TV and WTAE TV. Then Stoll took his show to New York, where the puppet spent another 4 years on television before getting retired. There you go. You know, sometimes peak merch is hiding in plain sight. Sometimes all you gotta do is look up. Like this Vin Fizz model airplane. The ideal drink grape. Huh? Alright. Well, time for the gift shop. And this guy's name is Electro the Moto Man. And this is his little dog, Sparko. Marguerite Smith had a date for the 1939 New York World's Fair. 7 feet tall and over 250 pounds, he smoked cigarettes, could count to 10 on his fingers, and traveled with his little dog Sparko. Smith was one of several women who helped showcase the talents of Electro the Robotic Man, made by the Westinghouse Electric Company. The Westinghouse Pavilion's hourly show at the 2-year-long fair proved to be most memorable and crowd-pleasing. Visitors would line up to watch the world's first voice-activated robot, who walked, talked, and could identify the difference between the colors red and green, all with the electric charm and polite pre-recorded conversation. So, even back then in 1939, men were already starting to become obsolete. They don't need us anymore, guys. It's fine. We deserve it. And what am I looking at, Hannah?
It's a reward for taking the stairs. You visit each step, you get a cool custom stand for each floor, and when you take it to the gift shop, you get a prize. So we're going to go see what the prize is.
That's right. To the gift shop we go. All right, we've arrived at the museum store. So much good stuff here. Like these shoe charms, also known as gibbets. Can you hold it still for me? Thank you. Kind of a big deal.
There is a mug that changes to from the suit jacket to a cardigan, but I got the.
Whoa. It's getting there. Cool. And if you weren't sure where to put your ketchup money, now you know. But I think we're here for the pins, right? Can we say? Everything you expected them to have in the gift shop, they do have. I wonder if there's that creepy ketchup tuxedo guy, though. Wow. Lip balm in all the flavors of Heinz. Pretty wild. And Buffalo's own Oxford Pennant has a whole line of exclusive Heinz pennants. Good to see the partnership is strong. I showed you some of them, but I didn't show you this camp flag. And I didn't show you these Oxford Pennant pins, exclusively for the Heinz History Center. I also didn't show you these cool stickers with vintage Heinz labels on them as well. They even got Heinz dog toys here. Look at this. They're a little pricey, sorry Murray, but they are pretty cool. They've even got the trolley, the Pittsburgh trolley as well. Let's see what else we can find. Tons of awesome merch with the Heinz History Center and its logo on it, including this hoodie, scarves, what looks like a sort of a stamp press and stand, as well as a cat's meow shelf sitter of the building, a hat, cards, a passport experience journal. I mean, there's too much here almost. Look at that. They have an ornament with the logo on it as well. This is the Oxford pennant for the whole museum. Really beautifully done. The outside of the building on it. Hatches. This whole collection for Pittsburgh of these ornaments as well. And another patch. Let's see what else we can find. All this reminds me that we really got to come out to Pickle Fest one of these years. They have this Pickle Fest like every summer, I think, or every spring. And I didn't know about it until fairly recently, but it's pretty cool that it's here. These are pickling spices for making your own pickles, tomato hair clip, and then some classic slogans like worth the wait and I'm kind of a big dill. Wow, they even have a pickle beanie. Pickle and ketchup everything here at the gift shop. Was to be expected, but is nonetheless impressive. And I've never seen this before, but this company, Carter Joey, makes these children's backpacks that you can attach custom little Velcro patches to. So they've got a bunch here, and then they've also got a whole Daniel Tiger collection from Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood, Mr. Robert's puppet. So I think this is just the start of the Mr. Rogers merch section. Let's see what else we can find. Got a classic Mr. Rogers tee here. Long sleeve version as well. So cute. Beautiful. And some other Mr. Rogers stuff here too. The box of life's big lessons. Oh, there it is. Mr. Rogers plush is pretty cool. Daniel Tiger keychains. Whole bucket of them. Some books from Fred Rogers of his affirmations. A whole collection of shelf sitters from some iconic moments on the show. These are made by a company called Cat's Meow. I encountered them, and you've seen them on this channel before in a roller coaster context. They often make roller coaster. But it looks like they have them for Mr. Rogers too. And wow, this might be the coolest thing, Mr. Rogers thing here. Look at this gorgeous ornament, Christmas ornament. With him and his owl, whose name escapes me. Wow, talking Mr. Rogers figurine. What in the heck? And a passport to the neighborhood of make-believe. There's so much good stuff here. Postcards. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And you may or may not know that Pittsburgh is a city of rivers, but these public works style posters and artwork documenting said rivers, it's pretty fantastic. As is this vintage poster documenting the H.J. Heinz company. And the old factory. Of course, Heinz after the merger relocated to Chicago, but still pretty cool. And we've got a bunch of posters here as well. Wow. Just wow. Wow. All right, gift shop review. How'd we do?
Well, as someone who likes to try to blend in when they visit somewhere, how am I doing? Do I look like a local?
I'd say so. Pretty local to me. Look at that fancy hat. And what are you holding here? Let's see. Hold it still.
See, I guess the thing about honk bumper stickers is then if people honk at you, you never really know if it's because of something you're doing or because they like your sticker.
Right. You can do no wrong in a honk bumper sticker.
Yeah,
all right.
Great store.
Cool. All right, we'll keep moving. Well, that's going to do it for a great trip to the Heinz History Center, where we learned a lot about Pittsburgh, a lot about ketchup, and a lot about Mr. Rogers. Pittsburgh is a cool city. I think it gets slept on a lot because it's so industrial and these days has a lot of conspiracy theorists, but it is really a great city, and I'm always happy to come back here, spend some time with the family whenever I feel welcome and whenever I can. So yeah, for now, thanks for joining us. You know, I'll always try to come back here and show you guys cool things when I can. But yeah, I've been Jess. You've been patient, and you've just watched Geek Merch. See you soon.